Hello everybody, my name is Benji, and welcome back to the Dyson Sphere program, where last time we set up our first planetary expansion to that planet, number 2 in the orbit. I noticed this as I was just kind of flying away. It says there's a dark fog communicator. I see it now. I did save right before this, so if I end up dying, that'll be okay. I don't see anything around it. I just see it. Wonder if I can damage it. I guess not. Got an achievement though. Doesn't seem like I can really do anything about that, but that is a thing. I don't know what those are for, if I'm being honest. Probably to communicate to other solar systems, from the hive to other solar systems, because it looks like it's pointed toward one of the stars out there, which are a couple of light years away. So, something to keep in mind and to watch out for later. I'm very excited to be finally squashing this little whatever the hell he is. What even are you? Another one of the ones on the edge. How are you not in range of anything? Seriously? It's alright, I'll just go on ahead and get rid of everything. It is definitely nice having my little unit guys. Very, very nice to have them. And I have a full inventory supply of silica to deliver to our lovely little area right here. And I have nothing with which to deliver it, because of course I don't. Why would I have things to deliver the stuff that I brought? That's just silly. That is just silly. So let me grab a container really quickly. And then beyond that, I need to figure out what the heck we're going to be doing today. I genuinely have no idea. It's probably going to have something to do with our dearest of friends, the sciences, because science is something that we always need to have. So it'll probably have something to do with the science aspect of things. I'm going to go on ahead and turn on logistics. Let the logistics robots absolutely swarm me in order to give me supplies, now that I have returned from our exoplanetary adventures. And I know for a fact that all of our planetary adventures have been fruitful. I am quite happy with all of the things that we got done, and I am excited to be getting into some new stuff today. I think we are still probably en route to be rushing for the Planetary Logistics Network. This stuff, the Planetary Logistics System, which means we're going to want some higher throughput on the processing units, as well as the purple things. Again, processing units and thrusters. Thrusters themselves are not super expensive. It's pretty much just steel and copper, so I'm not too worried about that overall. Solar sail orbiting system, not really something that I'm super interested in at this moment in time. Geothermal, I don't like geothermal. A lot of people don't like me for saying that, but I really don't like that kind of stuff, so I'm not really concerned about that at all. And then I think as well we're probably going to want to go for some precision drones. Precision drones look neat. And then I'm kind of wondering what happens if I end up attacking some of the units that are here and destroying them. Planetary shield generator and laser turret are also two things that I think would be to sort of be getting into. High explosive shell set makes sense to be a thing that's upgradable from the implosion cannon. So yeah, I think today's main accomplishment that we're going to be shooting for is the planetary logistics system, because the planetary logistics system is going to allow us to finally begin the progression from the starter base to some form of an actual scalable base that I will end up being rather happy with. So in order to get to that point, I think we're actually pretty much there on everything. We just need to set up the infrastructure for it. And part of setting up the infrastructure for it apparently is unclogging my belts again, which makes perfect sense if you ask me. So let me take a look at all the things that we need to do in order to get all of the parts that we're going to want and need for the planetary logistics system, and I will be back here with you guys in just a moment. Alright, I think I have kind of figured out the two orders of business that we need to address today in order to get to the planetary logistics system and get them online. First of all, we need a higher throughput of the processors, because if we take a look at the research tree again and take a look at the planetary logistics system, we see that we need a ton of processors for the logistics drones. We need 2 for each one. And then, of course, here we need 40 for each of the planetary logistics stations. And we're not going to need a lot of the planetary logistics stations to start off with. But we are going to want them, and we are going to need them. So processing units, taking a look at the inventory here, require green circuits and microprocessing units. The green chips are just circuit boards. Those are pretty simple, copper and iron. And then the microcrystalline components, the microchips, are copper and silica. So we need as much iron for these as we need copper for these, and that means that we need as much copper as we do iron as we do silica. So to kind of start to balance this out a little bit in my noggin, if it takes 1 second to get a plate from an ore, and we need 2 per second to get one of these, and we need 2 of these every 3 seconds or so. We need 4 every 6, so we need 1 every, like, 1.5. Yeah, that's how that math works out. So I'm thinking if we can have 3 of the circuit boards each second, that would be really nice. So I'm kind of starting to think about a setup that involves us having... I'll try to keep it all within this date line. What I'm thinking of having is 4 of these on one side, 3 belts going along in the middle here, or I guess it would have to be 4, wouldn't it? Let me take a think here. So if we have the output on the middle belt, like so. Yeah, no, we would need 4 in order to do that, but it would still be thinner than anything else. So I think we are going to go on ahead and do it. If we have the 2 devices, or the 2 things that we want in the center here, the 2 inputs, then we can end up having something sort of akin to this, where now this one has 2 coming in, this one has 2 coming in, this has this has this, and then we have our microcrystalline components. If these make 1 microcrystalline component every 3 seconds, that is 1/3 of 1 every second. Multiply that by 8, and we get almost 3. Just shy of 3. it's 8/3, because we have 1/3 each, and there's 8 of them, so it's 8/3. So I think that's pretty nice overall. We need twice that much in terms of everything else, which, if I'm being honest, is probably not going to be achievable. So if we do 6 instead, 6 divided by 3 is going to be 2 per second, which means we need... Did I just do my math wrong? No, there we go, which means we need 4 per second of each of the other components, which honestly should not be that hard of a feat to accomplish. In order to get 4 per second of these, we get 2 every second, so we only need 2 assemblers for the green chips. And then in terms of these guys, we get 1 every 2 seconds, which means we would need 8 for that. And it just so happens that we could technically just do this, and then we could have 1 more, 2 more, 1 more, 2 more, and then 1, 2, and that would get us our 8 that we need for that. Showing you a little bit of the design process here again. Like that. These guys, of course, would be outputting onto this belt. These guys, of course, would be outputting onto this belt. And same thing for all of the rest of you, would be outputting onto this belt, like so. These guys require copper, as well as requiring the silica. So what I'm actually thinking of doing, since they require copper, is putting the copper on the center belt here, like this, and this. That way, this is still outputting onto this belt, and this is still outputting onto this belt, and then this belt can actually come around like so, and do a little something like that. Probably still going to want to have the upgraded belts for that. And then the copper as well can go into these guys. We can have iron coming around the back in some sort of way, and then we can have the silica coming around the back in some sort of way, and coming into the front in some sort of way, and then we can have all of our smelting and whatnot over here. If we're going to need 4 per second of each, that means we're going to need 4 smelters for copper, 4 smelters for iron, and 4 smelters for silica plates, which is going to be quite a bit of stone, or I can just have it be a raw input by hand from our exoplanetary adventure last episode. So with this kind of a framework laid out, I'm just going to do some design tweaking and some other things of that nature. Then I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to set it up right where we see it here. We're going to pull some of the iron off of the belt for the sciences and some of the copper off of the belt for the sciences, and we're going to input that into our crystal chips setup here. And that'll be step 1 of 2, technically 3, on our way to get to the planetary logistics systems. So I'll set that up. I'll see you shortly. And here we are with the completed design, which is working, thankfully enough. I've gone on ahead and I've limited that chest. We also have automatic ammunition resupply as a result of our very wonderful little copper guys here. I very much appreciate the extra copper smelter with the ammunition supply. So we have defense on this vector, very similar to these 2 temporary ones and these 3 permanent ones, which is very nice. It's going to be really interesting scaling this all up and having modular designs that have their own overall defensive vectors, I guess you can call it. I think the laser turrets will make that a lot more helpful later on down the line, but that is not really a concern at this moment in time. Of course, we're going to need more silica over time. Silica is kind of like a temporary vector at the moment. I wish that we had more, but unfortunately we don't really have much of an option here. Why do you not have silica coming in? Ah, I see, because it's too slow. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, but it'll do the job for now, and look at that. We already have plenty of processors for our logistics robots over time, or our logistics drones over time, rather than our fidget spinner boyos. So the second aspect that we need in pretty high demand, I'll go on up here and I'll take a look at the research again, is going to be the purple particle containment guys. And then, of course, we're also going to want the thrusters, but the thrusters is something that I can do pretty simply. So if we go back down here to the magnetic particle trap, which is where we get the particle container, we see that this requires copper, green engines, and graphene. So we finally have a use for our graphene, but then also we have a use for these electromagnetic turbines, the green motors, and the motors in and of themselves. Now, motors are annoying because they require a lot of iron, and I'm not really interested at this moment in time in going out and tapping veins for more things and requiring more defense for more things. So we're not really going to worry about trying to have high throughput on this kind of stuff. We don't need too many of them overall. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to add it as a little bit of an aspect of this all design right here. So we've got ourselves our iron coming in along this direction here. We already have copper as well, but not in really huge supply. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this iron off of this bus. And I guess I can probably do it there because there's stuff blocking it, not there because there's stuff blocking it. Oh my gosh. This place is spaghetti enough already. Do I really want to do this? Ugh. It's so spaghettified. Oh, I don't want to do it. I can't do it there. I guess I can do it here. Yeah, I guess I can do it here. This will be fine. So we'll go on ahead and we'll take some iron off of this belt here. We already have some copper, which is nice. Now we just need to set up a little bit of a temporary thing here with the iron and the copper. And we also need copper magnets, which would mean that we would need magnets. Oh, I didn't think this through at all. I really didn't think this through. Because the copper magnets are up here on the top vector. And then the copper is down here. So my idea here, let me grab some foundations so I can really display my idea in the area in which I'm going to be trying to enact it. My idea here essentially is to have one over here with the magnetic particle containers. We'll bring the graphite or the graphene down and plug it in, and then of course we already have our lovely copper right there. We would have another one with the green magnets, another one with the regular not green magnets, the green motors, and then we would have a final one down here with gears. But that doesn't really look like it's going to want to cooperate because of the fact that we have all of these already kind of doing their thing, and that's not really something that's going to be... Oh, goodness gracious. I'm sitting here, I'm like, maybe I could get this to go like that? Or maybe I don't have to. Maybe I just have to do this. Like this, and then the iron like this, and then just do one of those. Yay, that works. All right, cool. And then we can just put this, because we need 4 of them overall. We need 1 of you to have gears, 1 of you motors, 1 of you green motors, 1 of you magnetic particle containers, Magnetic particle containers. Require the copper. Require this. And we'll require the graphene. You require this. And the copper magnets, which I will give you. You require iron, copper magnets, gears. You require iron. Then, smack in the middle, we put that. Over here, we put this, because we can have this coming in on the side. Over here, we do that. And then we limit it to 2 stacks, because 2 stacks will be plenty. And then we grab this, and we bring it down. And now that's covered under turret fire, which is exactly what we need. And that is part number 2. Now, part number 3, again, going to be super duper easy because we already have steel right here. And then we do not have copper. I always forget that we do not have copper. However, we do have copper here. And we could take the steel. Or we do have copper and we do have steel here. So what we could do... Oh my goodness, spaghetti. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's a starter base. We can do whatever the heck we want, so long as we call this our starter base. Okay, new idea. Take this iron, bring it down, bring it down, bring it around town. Get rid of this wind turbine. This wind turbine is providing power. Never mind, don't get rid of the wind turbine. Bring this around here. Grab ourselves a container for pacing. This thing for this. This for that. Limit it to 4. Go ahead and tell this to be making thrusters. We already have copper right next to it, so that's perfectly fine. And then go on ahead and just do 3. Why not? We'll do 3. 3 fit, we'll do 3. Grab this. Copy, paste the steel. Grab all this. And grab one of those. One of these. And one of those. Do that. And we have the final one. And that is everything that we need in order to craft ourselves planetary logistics stations, which means next time we can really start on doing some of this stuff. But I think before we start doing planetary logistics, we need to claim our planet. This planet does not belong to the Dark Fog. This planet belongs to us. As such, I move that we have a forward operating base off the coast here, right by the oil supplies, right with these guys, right up next to them. Lure their units out, and then strike. I think that's going to be a great plan. I think we're going to have a great time, and we're going to see what the Hive has to say about all that. I'm sure the Hive is not going to be pleased with us. But you know what? I don't really care what the Hive thinks. I'm going to have not just prototypes. No. That's the other thing that we're going to have. We're going to do precision drones next time, too. We've got the green motors, or the capabilities to make more. Let's make some drones. Take the fight to them. But that is going to be it for today, so thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. We are spreading like a cancer on this planet, and I could not be happier about that. I'm having a great time with this update. I can't thank the devs enough for the update and the absolute joy it has been to play their game. Go play it if you like factory games. This is great. But that is going to be it for today, so thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, but without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all.